Alright guys, so here we are. We got 8 of them on. I got one strap going around to this side, pulling it this way, and I got another strap going around to that, pulling it that way. Pulling forward and pulling up this way at the same time, so those aren't going anywhere. I don't know exactly how much weight these things are, but I definitely have more tongue weight than tail weight. Truck can handle it, plus it's got the airbags. Last thing I want is this trailer swaying all over the place. I probably could have just stuck with starting my row here and then going towards the back, but whatever. I've got lots of weight to work with, so why not? Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. Another beautiful morning here in Nova Scotia this morning. I think that apple tree is gonna go. It's blocking way too much of the field, and there is apples everywhere, which is bringing porcupines around. Not that that's the only tree with apples in it. We've got apple trees here everywhere. This one is completely loaded with apples. Like loaded with apples. Anyway, so I'm back from Cape Breton. Back with the 450. John grabbed the Chev this morning. I don't know what those guys are gonna decide as far as swapping trucks out, but I'm sure John would love to have the 350 back for hauling the 4-ton around. Probably finish up the job they're on Friday, so then it'd be good to have it for then, I guess, type thing. But anyway, so today we've got some various hauling to do with this thing right here. Check out, siding's on, deck's getting worked on. Show you what's going on. All right, so as you can see, we finally have the siding on the front of the house done, except for where the overhang is going. So we have this deck, it's like 40 feet. We're gonna have an overhang right beneath that window where you can see the ledger board. Overhang is gonna come out all the way to the edge of the deck. And the way that the first carpenter designed this deck was, or the deck posts, the footings, he laid them out, I put them in. He didn't, I don't know what was going on, but I didn't pay attention either. I just put them where he was telling me to put them. But basically where these 6x6 posts are is where the posts coming down for the overhang need to be, to sit on top of those. That's basically what the inspector would want to see. So he's got one basically right in the center of the house. Well, the last thing that we want is a post right in the center of the house, of the door. So if you were standing in the doorway, you'd look out and see a post. So I had to put these 2 additional footings in right there, so that's where the post will come down. And then here and here on the end, and on the ends over here. So I had to put 4 additional beams in just to correct this situation and still work with our 8-foot rails. So that was step 1. That was a bit tricky to do. Actually, John put these in the other day. You know, you gotta dig underneath. We didn't want to damage any of this. But then the next part was, my wife decided, you know what would be great? A hot tub. Well, that's great, but we had to take all these rafters off, or joists off, to get in here to dig them, because they need footings. Those hot tubs with those water are extremely heavy. So that's what we had planned on doing. So I grabbed 8 footings all together. You can see there's still 4 on the trailer, and the trailer was hooked up. But then we started calling about hot tubs, and they were gonna be like a year before we could even get one. And we don't wanna hold up the deck and the overhang and all that stuff. So we're gonna come up with a new plan for the hot tub, because basically it'd have to be craned in underneath the overhang and above the deck. And then we couldn't put the rails on. So there's all kinds of stuff that wouldn't work, I guess. So anyway, we're gonna probably build like a little side deck off of this one. You step down into the hot tub. So I could take 4 of these back. So the first trucking situation we have today is taking 4 of these footings back to the concrete place. So yeah, we're back in the 450, the big tow rig. We are ready to rock and roll. I know in my last video on this truck, I gave this truck a hard time, and it deserved it. You know, but I also made sure to point out that I still love this truck and the powertrain is absolutely phenomenal, because it is. The powertrain in this truck is phenomenal, and I would still buy this truck tomorrow. But yes, it sucks having these stupid little problems. You guys wanted me to keep you up to date if I happen to hear anything from Ford. No, I have not at this point, and I probably won't. I'll just end up going through the local dealer here now. It's a different dealer than what I've been using before. I actually know a guy there. I'm a good buddies with a guy. I actually play hockey with him. So I'm going to reach out to him and see what he can do, and basically say, hey, you know, if you take care of some of these problems for me, which they should, even the other place probably would if I decided to keep calling them, but whatever. I'm not in there anymore anyway. I'm out here, so I might as well try to create a relationship with the guys out here. Basically, if they help me out, which they should, they'll gain my business in the future. It's just kind of how things work. But anyway, we're ready to go. Take these back, and then the next leg of the trucking situation. Yeah, can you guys hear that? The next leg of the hauling trucking situation is going to be coming back and hooking up to the Diamond C with the 95 and heading off to a job site where I am putting a driveway in and clearing off a little lot for somebody. So that's the next step. All right, well, I got the footings dropped off, and now it's time to get this back of the truck cleaned up so I can get at the gooseneck ball. So I've got these tires here. So I picked up these tires off of Kijiji, which is like our Craigslist. They're gonna be going on the front of this truck until I put a new set all the way around on them. These are the Michelin XD S2. Got a little bit of, you know, a little bit of damage to them, but they're not worn crazy like mine are. So they'll definitely get me through for now until I replace everything. But yeah, the weight rating's all the same ply, all that sort of stuff. If I like them, then I might end up putting these on the truck all the way around. We'll have to wait and see. But if you guys are new and you haven't seen the tires on this thing, they're interesting. So basically, everyone tells me that their trucks wear the same. The wide front axle catches some ruts or whatever, but man, they're just like a wave. They're like a wave, and the outside is worn. There's a couple spots where it's starting to get, you know, down there on the outside tread. Yeah, you can see right there. If you can see, I don't know if I'm blocking you guys the sun or not, but it's too bad because these tires, they hold up really well. I've got 40,000 kilometers on this truck. This one here isn't, I mean, if it was evenly worn all the way through, man, I would keep running these for a while. Absolutely. The back ones are great. Like the back ones I could get a ton of more life out of. Ton more life out of these. But anyway, I'm gonna put those two on the front to get me through until it's time for a brand new set all the way around. But 80 bucks, you know, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that. They definitely do have a nicer tread for like snow, and they are a bit more aggressive than what these ones are, obviously. But I do want to go a size bigger. I'm not going crazy. You know, this is a tow rig, this is a work rig. That's what it was bought for, that's what it's meant for. But I'm definitely gonna go a little bit bigger than what these stock ones are. So we are all hooked up and ready to pull on out of here, head to the site. So the machine was already on here, so that's pretty easy. I just checked everything. Everything's still good, obviously. So easy lowering the truck down on this. Man, like it's such a dream with the hydraulic jacks, and then obviously unloading the hydraulic dove, but the hydraulic jack just down, boom, ready to go. But anyway, jump in this beast, pull on out of here, and the place that we're going, there is absolutely nowhere to get turned around. there's nowhere to unload. So I'm going to have to find a spot and unload the machine, track it in, and then walk back on my feet to the truck. And it's not a short walk, like it's probably going to be a couple kilometers that I have to walk just to get back out of the woods. So it is a pain in the butt. Absolutely, it's a pain in the butt at this job site, but let's go. Okie dokie, so we're getting ready to pull onto the highway. Now I'm not gonna mash it on this thing. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. We'll see how this does getting up to speed.
For 20 kilometers, continue straight.
I am not into this. Turbo is working though. I didn't look at the RPMs, but I'd say as high as we got was around 2,500. Set my cruise right there, 99 kilometers an hour. I'm gonna get up to a little bit higher speed once I get out of this section. This section here is only 90. And 10th gear, 1,800 RPM. Of course, it is flat ground, and away we go, off to the races. Just see what I get for mileage here. We've got another 18 kilometers before we turn off the highway. So, you know, a decent little test, and most of this is flat ground. There are a couple hills, but nothing too crazy. This is going to be the enjoyable part of the drive. The unenjoyable part of the drive is going to be once I get off the highway and I'm getting into these tight areas, roads, trees are grown in, and then I got to unload the machine and walk it probably 1.5 kilometers or more, and then I got to turn around and walk back out on foot when it's all said and done. But this is enjoyable, that's for sure. Just sitting back, taking it all in. The only thing is those tires are getting loud on the front of this truck. Just like that, our highway portion of this trip is over. 11 miles, 7.7 mpg. That's cool. I'm fine with that.
Turn left onto
7.78 mpg, hauling over 30,000 pounds. Yep, I can dig that. And man, these brakes on this trailer, oh my. If you are contemplating, well, if you're looking at getting a new trailer, you highly need to consider the extra money and get these electric over hydraulic with the disc brakes. Like, you need these brakes if you're hauling heavy. My electric surge brakes on my SureTrack trailer, they must be doing something, because my 550 is still on its original brakes, but man, it is nothing on this thing. Nothing on this thing.
2.3 kilometers. Turn right onto Old Kettle Road.
Alright, so here we are. We're on the road that I'm going to be able to get so far on, and then that's going to be it. I don't know exactly how far I need to walk this thing in, but it's too far. This road's nice and wide right now, but then it turns into a single lane road. And trees are grown in, and there's nowhere to get turned around. The road that I'm working on, no, ain't happening. I might be able to get my dump trailer turned around in a driveway on one of these spots, but definitely not this thing. So there's a spot up here where there's like a turnaround area that hopefully once I unload the machine, I can get turned around. But we still have 2.6 kilometers to get to the actual job site, and I don't know how far this is up here to where I can park this thing. But this is good so far. If the road was like this all the way, then I'd be able to get turned around in a driveway. But it is not. You can see where I need to be. Hopefully it's not that far. I mean, hopefully it's like a kilometer walk. That'd be all right. I mean, that's not too far. All right, so here we are. It's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. 600 meters, that's all it is. So I'm gonna get this thing unloaded and then see if I can get this old girl turned around here somewhere, facing the right direction. Walk this thing in, and then pack up and get on out of here. All right, guys, so we got it unloaded. We got turned around, facing the right direction now. It's not that far, so I'm gonna walk this in and then walk out, take the trailer back to the house. It's only 15-20 minutes away. Take the trailer back to the house, unload the trailer, come back with the truck, work a good long day, and then head on out of here. That's my plan for the day. So I'm going down this road right here with the machine. When I come back, I'm gonna tighten up these tracks. I have never tightened these tracks yet, and they're looking a little loose. So I'm gonna put some grease in those and tighten those tracks up. But yeah, let's walk this thing down the road and start scraping some of this rust off the bucket. The machine's been sitting for about a week and a half, and it's not gonna be sitting anymore, I can tell you that. Okay, well, we are off to the races. We got her in Rabbit. We're ready to go. So Zach, the guy who works he's the head mechanic at Title Tractor where I bought this machine. He sent me a video and some photos last week of the new SY-95. It's got a new cab, and man, that new cab is so much nicer than this. And I mean, this is okay, you know, it's comfortable, it's got the digital screen, you know, whatever, it's got everything you need. But the new 75 is everything that I've complained about in this machine. The pedals for your handles are straighter, so when you track back, it doesn't come in so tight to your legs. It's got a cup holder right here. It's complete touchscreen. Oh, and the boom. The boom on the 75, the jib boom, is considerably longer than the boom on this 95. Like, what are the chances? Everything that I complained about with this, or mentioned with this machine, was changed on that 75, and the rumor is it's going to be changed on the 95. Like, come on. But anyway, we've got another 500 meters to get to where we're going, and we'll walk back out. Alright, so I didn't look at that right. It was 600 meters to Old Kettle Road, and then it's another 600 meters to where I need to be. So it is actually 1.2 kilometers that I will be walking this thing in and then walking on my feet back out. Alright, here we are. Now, typically I'd have the guys come through here and cut all this stuff down before I come in here, but that is not how this one worked out. So basically that ribbon there, I'm going right in through here. So I need to knock this stuff down with the excavator, punch a hole through, and then we're going up over the hill. So a lot of these maples and stuff got to come out. But for now, I just want to get this opened up enough that I can get the excavator in off the road, because when I come back, I'm going to park the truck over here. Now I could, you know, do my work, leave the truck and trailer out there, and then walk out at the end of the day, but I don't know this area that well. It seems like a nice area, but there is an expensive truck and trailer sitting out there right now with no eyes on it. Who knows could come back that road, and then like, God knows what they would do. I'm not sure. Anyway, I just like, I don't trust people with things like that. So anyway, I'm gonna punch a hole through this area right here. All right, 5 minutes later, we got our clearance start. And this is how a lot of people do this stuff. A lot of people just come in with the machine, knock the stuff over, smash up the limbs, haul it out with tandems. But man, especially if you're working in a remote area, like this is not alongside the highway nowhere, you know, it is back here a ways. Hauling brush tandem loads at a time can get very expensive. I can pile this brush up into, you know, a decently manageable pile. What's going to be here, and chip this in like an hour to 2 hours. Done. It's chipped. It's over with. Then yeah, I got to haul a couple loads of grubbings out, a couple loads of stumps, and you know, that sort of stuff out, but not loads and loads and loads, because the limbs take up so much space in the bed. But anyway, when I come back, I'm gonna continue on, and I always get the good ones. I always get the good ones that are just all boulders. And let me tell you, this land is all boulders. There's some huge boulders in here, which is, I had to go through this whole area, the whole landscape, and pick a spot where I could get through. Like there's a huge boulder in there, you'll see once I get going. That's like, that probably weighs more than the machine. Guaranteed that's more than the machine. But I'm gonna grab the saw, I think, come back, knock some of these ones down with the saw. There's some bigger ones up there with the saw. The guys have the good ones, they got the Huskies. I get the junk left behind. But anyway, I guess it is what it is. All right, let's get this thing fired up. See what we can get done here. I did just use the saw for a second to clean up a few things. So hopefully we can make this go pretty quick. I am literally just getting these out of the way for now, and I'm going to come through and come back through and pick them up and limb them up tomorrow. But right now, I just want to get this crap out of my way so I can start to get a gauge on how this is gonna go. Friggin' birch, so stringy. Most hardwoods, well, softwoods especially, but even most hardwoods, when you do that and you snap them around, snaps the limbs in half. But with birch, not the case. And then of course I need to separate the stumps and everything. Where did I put those first few stumps? I think they're up here. So even with chipping, we still will have a few loads of grubbing to come out of here, but it's not going to be near as bad as if we didn't chip. Again, I'll clean that stuff up later. Just want to kind of get a path through here. Coming back here tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna have the chipper tomorrow, but I will on Friday. Might even get the grubbins hauled out tomorrow. See how it goes. Yeah, I got like 2 inches of soil and then we're right into the rock. Get these stumps off and I can start trying to shape things up. This one here is a group of stumps. machine really does impress me with how much power it has. I know I've said that a bunch of times before, but it really, really does. There will certainly be a few of those set off to the side, that's for sure, when I'm done in here. Rips that group of stumps out like nothing. Now I gotta try to find a spot for the good wood. This the crap pile over here. We got the good wood. Pile. Here we go here, I guess. See if I lose any teeth on this job. Literally just like moss. On top of rocks. Hoping that there actually is some material up here on this hill that I can bring down, shave that bank down, and bring down into this low spot. But we will have to wait and see if it's actual soil or if it's just boulders. I'm really hoping it's soil. I always like to smooth out where I'm going. One, so it's not so rough and I'm not in here bouncing around and sitting on weird angles. And two, it definitely helps so that you don't throw a track. Because that would be the last thing that I would want, is to throw a track. This stuff here is all garbage. Try to position it so that it makes sense for chipping. But it's basically all facing the same way. It doesn't always work out, but you can at least try. Like this doesn't work out. Chances are I'll probably be here by myself, shipping on Friday. But I think 2 of my guys are taking that day off. So that'll be fun. Anyway, I'm gonna keep working at this. Then I gotta cut some bigger ones by hand and work my way in there. Alright guys, so we're wrapping up day one here. I probably got maybe 2.5 to 3 hours operating time on it so far. So I will need to separate this stuff out that I'm chipping and stuff that I'm hauling out eventually. But anyway, it's all freaking rock. I'd like to have just one job that's not rock. It's just nice soil, easy to work with. Alright guys, back on site the next morning. Had a full battery and just turned it on, and it now says 69%. But anyway, as I was saying yesterday, I got probably 2.5 hours runtime maybe on this, and it is all rock. There's like zero soil. These are rocks that I plucked out. There's a bunch that I was able just to bury in some low spots. I did find some soil, none here. This is all rock. That's a huge rock right there. No way in heck I'm moving that. That's a huge rock right there. No way in heck I'm moving that. This is a massive rock right here. And this is a massive rock right here. As you can see, it's like 9 feet tall. Another massive rock over here. And here's some big rocks that I plucked out that are actually very cool. Oh yeah, there's a massive rock right here. So I need to build this stuff up to meet this grade, because I can't move it. It's huge. I mean, look at the size of this rock that I did move. That is a pretty cool rock. It is approximately 8 feet long, and it's quite thick. As you can see, it's about 1.5 feet thick. Very cool rock. But anyway, I'm really hoping that I can get enough material off of this bank that I can bring down to this grade, and this will be my clearing. This will be where their little shed thing is going to go. So that tree is going to come down. Those trees are going to come down. I'm going to use this area to try to prep up where their spot's going to be. Wow, man, the mosquitoes are bad. But I did have 2 visitors here yesterday. One was a huge hornet's nest in the ground right here. When I hit that thing, holy crap, you should have seen the hornets. I was pretty quick closing the window on the excavator. The other visitor that I had was a guy who showed up in a vehicle, a little Ford Escape, and he was completely decked out in reflective gear. Like decked out. He had reflective jacket on, reflective pants on. He come flying in here saying that I was trespassing on the property. I had the deed with me. I showed them the deed. They have a right-of-way off of this road, and I showed him the property lines, and he quickly sort of calmed down, gave him the numbers of the landowners, called them last night. He did not call them. So he came flying in. He was like the person who takes care of the roads or something, told me that I tore the road up. And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? It's where I turned the excavator to come in here, and I raked it out in literally 30 seconds. Anyway, some people just need to feel important. I guess that's his job. Anyway, so I'm going to continue on back here. I need to get these piles sort of cleaned up and buttoned up. Hoping to have the tandem come here tomorrow to haul this stuff out. The chipper come here tomorrow to haul this stuff out. Start bringing some gravel in. We're going to need some gravel on the road. I do need to widen it out down there because they'll be getting this vehicle, this truck or whatever that's bringing this shed in. And I need to get as much room as I can between this rock and this situation. I need to build this up some because that's, yeah, man, it's boulders, guys. Boulders and boulders and boulders. I got to fuel the machine up and start going at this thing. It's one of these days I'm going to have a nice job where there's like no rock and just easy digging. This thing has not had an easy start to its life. That I can tell you. All right, guys. Well, I got the driveway pretty much roughed in. Still got to clean up all this stuff. Started to clean up some stuff up here. There's a big drop off over on this side, like a huge drop off, like 30 feet. So that's where all the stumps and stuff are gonna go. I'm gonna throw them all off the side, and then all the, just the small brush, stumps, grubbins. Then I've got a huge rock pile that I'm gonna throw on top of it, and then just put some soil on top, and it will be good to go. Here's some more of the rocks I ran into today. Yeah, she's a rock pile. There's another couple of rocks I ran into. You can see the machine sitting there. See the rock, big. Anyway, there's a couple of rocks in here that I don't think I can get out. There's one sitting right around here somewhere, and that one there, it's just, I was hoping to get right back and get this whole top area cleared off, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But they only need a small area anyway. They're only putting just like a 16 by 12 little camp style thing in here, and this spot to get turned around. But I'm gonna see if I can get the breaker for tomorrow, possibly, to break this rock down, break that rock down, and see how far I can get that way. And then I'll turn this area over here into a parking spot, turnaround spot, and then they'll still have lots of room. This is probably more room than what they expected anyway, but if it was all like this stuff, man, would it ever be beautiful. But it is not. It's mainly all like that stuff. But anyway, here's the big drop off over here. It's about 25 feet down there. So I already got some stuff started. I'll cover that over and be as good as anything else. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Machine is getting its work out again like it always does. This machine, every job it's been on has been all rock so far, all rock. Truck, yeah, it's got its quirks, it's got its little things wrong with it that kind of piss me off, but it gets the job done every time that I pull a load. Every time I put something behind it, it just does it without any frustration, any issues whatsoever. It's a hell of a truck for towing. It's just got some stupid little stuff wrong with it. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. I'll probably get some footage of this when it's done, but it probably won't be till next week when I finally get out of here, get the gravel down, get the base done, all that sort of stuff. But I'll bring you back around for sure. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Take care, stay safe, see you next time, bye.